Hello everybody, and welcome to another reaction video. And today I'm going to react to Papa Roach. Now, like a previous video where I covered Soulfly, Papa Roach is a band that I have heard of before, but I have not listened to since their first album came out. Back then, it was the whole sort of new metal rap and metal combo fad that happened, you know, when we got Limp Bizkit and stuff like that. So I never really took to that style of music very much. Now, from what I understand, Papa Roach has somewhat developed over the years. The lead vocalist, I don't know whether it's a different lead vocalist or he just stopped being pretentious and stopped calling himself Kobe Dick or whatever it was. But yeah, we're going to listen to a track called None of the Above. I did a little bit of research, and there really wasn't that much information on it, but there is a what's the word I'm looking for? There is a statement here from Jacoby Shaddix. I'm not sure who that is. He says, "We're very proud of this song. It's kooky and adventurous. It is our attempt at putting all of the things that leave us unsettled and angry in this world into one song." So I can imagine this is covering all sorts of topics that, you know, that modern day society seems to, you know, everybody seems to get offended by bloody everything these days. So, you know, it's like all the things that they wish they could say, you know, and they've just put it all into one song. So I'll be interested to see how it goes. This is actually quite a short song, only 3 minutes 35. Oh, excuse me. But I'll be interested to see if any differences in the band, because like I said, it's been a very long time since I've listened to any. Excuse me, I've got the lyrics up here. I'll see what I can make out from it, and put the link to the original video in the description below. Can't remember if I've said that already, but if not, said it again, who cares. Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we?
Everybody's fucked up off the beat. The words are in our mouths, but we don't speak. Boarded up the windows in the house. Another generation bleeding out. Don't want no part of this, none of the above. Don't want no part of this, none of the above. I don't want love. Take me to church, 'cause I've been blessed with a curse. I arrived in a river when I left in a hearse. This speaking in tongues feels like we're coming undone. Don't want no part of this, none of the above.
Well, the opening to the song was different from what I expected. Doesn't really seem all that different to what I remember of Papa Roach, if I'm completely honest, given the style of the singing and the style of the music in the background. I'm interested by the opening lines of this. It says, "Everyone's up off the beat. The words are in our mouths, but we don't speak. Boarded up the windows in the house. Another generation bleeding out." Now, that first line, "everybody's up off the beat," it's like the whole rhythm of life is being thrown off because everything is so literally up at the moment, you know. The words are in our mouths, but we don't speak. To me, that suggests, like what I was saying at the beginning of the video, everybody is offended by absolutely everything today. You know, you could say something completely innocently, completely innocuous. You could say something like, I don't like peaches, they're fuzzy, and somebody somewhere will be offended by that for some obscure reason. So, you know, the words are in our mouths but we don't speak. It's like something's bothering us, but we're not going to say it because we're going to end up upsetting someone somehow, and then we're just going to end up with like 10 tons of shade thrown at us, and you know, we just don't want that anymore, and you know, we're scared to speak up about what's bothering us anymore. Boarded up the windows in the house, another generation bleeding out. That's like everybody's living in their own sort of personal bubble these days. Everybody's like, almost everybody seems to be introverted these days. You know, everybody's a hermit. They sit in their house. You know, they don't go out to shop. They buy everything online. You know, even when people go out places, they spend most of the time staring at their phones or iPads and what have you. You know, everybody's in their own personal little, in their own little world. There's like no social interactions anymore. You know, and like, I mean, say you meet someone and you know, you ask them out on a date. Whatever happened to the days where you'd meet someone, ask them out, go out on a date, and get to know them? Nowadays, it's people seem to meet someone, ask them on a date, and then they go home, look on their Facebook or whatever other social media this person might have to find out everything about them. It's like, oh, interesting, she's got a 5-year-old child, she works in such and such a place, she does this, that and the other. So when you actually go on said date, you've got nothing to talk about. You know, you don't find out anything about each other that you don't already know. I mean, these are actually things that bother me as well, so I can see where they're coming from with the angle of the song. So it's quite interesting. I'll leave my little rant there and we'll carry on with the song, I think.
Blocking out the static in our heads. We are still alive and playing dead. We don't need a reason for doubts. Another generation screaming out, don't want no part of this, none of the above. None of the above. Take me to church, 'cause I've been blessed with a curse. I arrived in a river where I left in a hearse. Speaking in tongues feels like we're coming undone. Don't want no part of this, none of the above.
I like the way the song's written. I think the song's got some very, very good lines in it. Blocking out the static in our heads, we are still alive and playing dead. So it's like I was saying before, you know, you're blocking out pretty much the world around you, and we're still alive and playing. We're alive, but we're not doing anything. We're just sort of zombies and slave to electronics. We're not living our lives. We're not going out and meeting people. We're not making friends. Everybody's just so all consumed in themselves. And there's a line here that I actually quite like. I arrived in a limo and I left in a hearse. Now, to me, personally, I could be completely wrong with this interpretation, but I arrived in a limo. It's like you've been given everything. You've got every opportunity. You've got bloody camera cut out. Hasn't done that in a while, but anyway, as I was saying, that arrived in a limo and left in a hearse. The way I see that is like you've been given every opportunity. You know, everything's been laid out before you. You can do whatever you want with your life, actually do something with your life. And left in a hearse, you know, it just stopped, you know. You arrive in the world and you've got every possibility to do anything you want, but so many people just sort of sit there and do nothing. It doesn't matter what you do with your life, you're still going to end up going out the same way. So you might as well actually do something with your life, rather than, you know, just sitting around and not contributing to anything. That's just the way I see that line. It's like, I could be completely wrong. Like I say, I like the song and I like the meaning behind it. As you well know, I like songs that actually have a meaning behind them. We'll carry on. Well, there we go. None of the above by Papa Roach. I can't say that I'm a big fan of the track. I mean, I actually like the words to the song, but the actual execution and performance of the song, not overly fond of. And I don't know what it is. It's just the part of it where he's going N-O-N-E of the A-B-O-V-E. That's just like... Didn't that go out in the 80s? It's not that's possibly the worst part of the writing of the song. But the rest of it I like. I like the meaning behind it. But like I said, I'm not particularly overwhelmed by the execution. It sort of reminds me why I stopped listening, or why I never really got listening to Papa Roach in the first place. Yeah. Can't really think of much else to say about it, in all fairness. So we'll leave that as it is. If anybody would like to suggest a song for me to listen to, can be of any genre, you know, metal, hip hop, rap, what have you, anything, just, you know, by all means do so. Leave a comment in the section below, or message me on Instagram, and I will endeavour to get around to it eventually. But yeah, we'll leave that, and yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.